Here we go. All right.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone.
You are not Derek. Where's the Derek?
Yeah, I am new Derek. I am Bobby Be Fine, and I am now joining the one and only Brad of the PDH pod.
Hello. Hello,
Uh,
hello.
and we're here for round
Yeah,
two.
Max. It's an all physical card round this time. We got Clay from the PDHRC on Sir Conrad. We got Beachbot God from Mystic Enforcer. Saw a little bit of that deck last game before Gresham went off. We got Chris from One More Game on Malcolm Tago. And Ominous on Cartel Aristocrat.
Yeah, and we got some turn one plays from the table.
We got
What is
Derek in the chat
this?
eating potato chips. Are they jalapeno crunchers? They better be jalapeno
The
crunchers.
best, the kettle. Yeah, the kettle cooked.
Yeah.
The best. But yeah, no, people are. I don't know. I'm not used to these turn one plays that people are doing.
Yeah, I
So
know, right? Coming out the gate swinging.
three different people with turn one plays. So we got Clay with a festering mummy, Chris with an image crafter, so a combo piece already online, and then
Ooh,
Clay. Is this Clay Revenant? I think from
that's what I
Menace
thought it was.
Revenant. Yep.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
Okay, I always forget that. I forget that that's a one drop.
yeah, sweet with like tortured existence stuff, which is probably not what Menace wants to be doing with a Sir Conrad at the table, but
Correct.
we'll see how that
Clay moving
works.
to combat already. Like he hit Chris for one. Thought Picker Witch on the line.
Clay's just
What
like
was
running
the
out of his hand.
what's the other creature he just cast?
Festering newt, so just another
Festering
thing that
Newt. Okay.
makes
Yep.
something smaller when it dies. But
Yep.
um, but yeah,
Nice control pieces online already for Clay.
yeah.
And
So
Beachbot got it with the sweet basic land victory for the tournament.
yeah, gotta love the beta lands.
Gotta love them. That
But
planes is probably worth more than the deck.
who do you got winning this pod, Brad? It's an interesting one. Kind of a
It
bunch of
is an
slower
interesting one. It's
decks.
similar to the first game we commentated, me and Derek. Like, there's a good combo deck at the table. If that can get its draws online, that has a really good chance to just take over. I don't know what Mystic Enforcer's doing. I know it's just sort of a beatdown. I don't know if it had any sort of built-in combo. I haven't looked super deep at the deck list. But Conrad, I mean, that's in it. That's in it for the long game. That's in it for the hard control game.
Yeah,
I mean, it definitely has the potential to just wipe out a table within a turn or two. So we'll see what. And he's already got a good setup going. A little bit of mono black control already on the table. The one I'm most worried about, and we sort of talked about this, Derek and I, pre-game before the tournament even started, is the Cartel Aristocrat. I don't know if it's just going for beats, and I'm not sure what's happening with that one yet. I believe so, based on the deck list. It looks like it's just trying to suit up the aristocrat itself, make it unblockable, what have you, and going for the beats. We'll see how that turns out.
yeah. Yeah, like the cartel aristocrats kind of Voltron-y, kind of mid range. We see that dark steel axe, so
Right.
definitely wants to put like pants on things. Conrad is obviously a slower, kind of grindier deck, and it kind of picks apart things with edicts and all these shrink dudes.
Yep. He
Um,
cycled a Street Wraith draw card.
yeah, Mystic Enforcer is pretty low on land counts, but it's a Voltron build. He's just trying to do a bunch of self mill stuff, no combo or anything,
Sure.
which might be an issue against Clay's edict filled deck. Um,
Hmm.
and Chris is actually on a more control-y Malcolm list. The Tago, the rocks will help him kind of take care of what Clay and Omenis are doing. I think so.
Yep.
It'll be really interesting. If I were putting my channel point somewhere, I'd put him on Chris. But um, I mean, I think any deck could. That's why we play the games, right? So
That is why we play.
but yeah, Clay turning sideways looks like kind of spreading the love.
Yeah, and you have to with a deck like that too. There's no guarantee that Conrad's going to finish the job for you, so you might as well get everybody as low as possible.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, missing that second land drop for the aristocrat is brutal.
yeah, that's
Super brutal. Orzhov is not the color known for mana ramp.
yeah. Not no. Oh my
Wow, what is
god.
happening at the table right now?
Some friendly trash talk. It seems like, well, at least
Some
we'll hope it's
friendly sign
friendly.
language trash talk.
Yeah. Gold Collar's Bell milling.
Yep.
Kind of a really an interesting card in Mystic Enforcer. Mystic
I
Enforcer
was
wants to
just
mill.
thinking that.
to get that threshold online. I think it
Yeah.
might be a little too cute personally, but um, it does have the ability to mess with like some Mystic Sanctuary stuff, which is cute.
Yeah.
Um, so
Which is definitely relevant in these events.
yeah, I think it's a problem when there's a Sir Conrad at the table. Um,
Correct.
you're giving it a bunch of fuel for later, which it is a big fan of. That is one thing I see going in favor of Clay here. We have Beach Bod that kind of plays into the Sir Conrad plan, and then the Cartel Aristocrat from Omanus also playing into that plan. So Clay's just like, yeah, this is awesome. You guys just keep doing this. Like,
Yeah, please bring it on.
and no one's really establishing any kind of threat early in this pod, which is good for both Clay.
I mean, taking a snapshot right now, it would have to be Clay, but that changed so quickly.
Yeah, I mean Clay did just miss his third land, so we'll see. I mean, I imagine Chris is going to go for Tago, and if he has a land, get a rock. Which is interesting. I don't know if Clay would sack all of his guys to kill a Tago, but
It's
maybe.
an option.
But the fact that Chris is not just snap doing that makes me feel like he maybe doesn't have the land.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hand gestures being made. Oh my goodness.
What is happening right now? The actions of the table do not reflect the actions of Sanctuary PDH, and it's affiliate.
Last I checked, this was supposed to be a Magic game. I don't know what's going on. It's turned into like a hand puppet show.
Shadow puppets, sure.
But I think we're on. Yeah, it looks like we're on Chris's turn, and Chris is figuring out what he wants to do. So he does have the land, but didn't want to lead with Tago. So interesting.
That is interesting. You think you want to get Tago down as early as possible, but
Yeah, I mean he could be trying to like go for combo early with the Image Crafter in play, but the issue is that the Image Crafter bites the dust whenever Clay wants it to, with the double festering creatures in play. So I would just be trying to establish some type of other engine, and Tago board control seems like a great engine, but we'll see. We'll see what Chris has in hand. So you're I mean, everyone knows you're the Orzhov guy, Brad. How do you feel about Cartel Aristocrat in general? Is it one that ever piqued your interest to play? I know it's a common now, so I actually like it as part of the 99 more than a commander, I think. But
yeah, I'm right. That was going to be my answer too. I think it's a fairly underwhelming commander, but a great piece to the 99 in any deck, really.
yeah, it does the Voltron thing really well. Protection from a color, lets it force through, dodge removal, but I just
think that if you're running this type of deck, this sort of like focused on combat damage sort of Orzhov deck, like there's better commanders, and you could just have Aristocrat in the 99.
Yeah, I mean, what we just saw Killian, right? Like Killian wants to do the Voltron thing too. It doesn't necessarily want to do the Aristocrat thing, but the Aristocrat and Voltron are kind of at competition with one another. Like,
right, that does have a little bit of non-bow, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm curious to see how it all plays out. So
yeah,
Chris tutoring for Intervene with Dizzy Spell, huh?
Interesting. So
Chris,
he does. Sounds like he's got the combo in hand.
Chris is definitely going to try to go for or this. Okay, he's just like, look at all these 1-drops. I don't know which one I'm getting, but
he's just threatening the table with 1-drops. Look at all these I got. What are you gonna do? So yeah, he's definitely feels like he's got the combo ready to go. He's just finding some protection for his Image Crafter.
Interesting that he would reveal all those and let everyone know he doesn't have those in hand.
Yeah.
Give the table free info. No big deal.
No big deal.
So we got dive down. So yeah, this will. I mean,
and you're kind of confident. The Aristocrat deck is struggling to start the game. Beachbot is probably going to tap out his next turn because Selesnya. That's just what they do, and his deck's kind of expensive. So the only person, if he's trying to combo next turn, the only person you really need to worry about is Clay.
Yeah, The
at the
issue
moment.
is your image crafter can bite the dust now. I don't know if Clay's going to do it. I would if I were him.
Sure, yeah,
But
just get off the board.
yeah,
Might as well. It's
like
free removal.
and you have a whole turn cycle to do it right. You can still get your attack in.
Hmm.
The issue is Clay is also, he missed his third land drop. He's played 3/1 drops, so he hasn't really done much to get going either. So that is a big cost to him, sacking one of his few creatures. But yeah, like you said, no one else is scary. So if I'm Chris,
I feel like Aristocrat just missed their land drop again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Omen of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you and Derek talked about this a little bit last game. I don't think people are mulliganing as aggressively or, as maybe they should, knowing, we talked about, you guys talked and noted the kind of low land counts. And I
feel like, with the current board state, Ominous would have had to keep a one-lander.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I don't know if you want to do that with granted, it's a 2-mana commander, but you need both colors.
Yeah, especially with, like, I don't know. I see Sir Conrad. I see Malcolm Tago. I'm thinking these decks want to go to the long game. I need to be prepared to go to the long game. I don't think Cartel Aristocrat is ever a game that's not planning to go for the long game.
Sure.
So keeping a one-lander seems... and I don't know if Omenis, had to mull down low. I wasn't paying that much attention to mulligans. So maybe they were on a smaller hand.
So though, like, he just drew for turn and it looked like he had 5-ish cards in hand. So
yeah, so who knows? But yeah, play more lands. That's my.
That's the motto of the weekend.
That's me. Yeah, Derek and I agree on that. That's for sure. So
because of all the color pairs, I feel like Golgari and Orzhov are the ones you have to be conscious of your opening hand, your mana that you have available in your opening hand.
Yeah.
Because even Clay, he supposedly or apparently he kept a 2-lander, which in a mono black deck seems fine. You don't think you're not going to draw the third one.
Yeah, but when I don't know. Your commander costs 5, and your game plan kind of revolves around that.
Yeah.
You gotta have a game plan. Maybe he has some draw spells or something. Who knows?
Sure. Yeah, and maybe it's just like, all right, if I hit my third land drop, I have 2 draw spells in hand. So.
Yeah, and he is killing the image crafter now.
It's a good idea.
And then Thought Pickering, Beach Bod, looks like. So
looks like Edge of Autumn and not sure what that one was.
Edge of Autumn and it looked like Reclaim, or maybe it was in big. I can't tell.
Reclaim. Thanks, Derek. Yep, you're right, Bobby.
Okay. All right. So Clay on taps is not just slamming down a land, so probably did not draw land.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing much.
This is gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, just based on variance alone, this might be Chris's game.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm Chris, if I'm not going for combo now, I'm slamming Tago and just starting to
100%.
Start chipping away at everyone's stuff because no one is doing anything. You can start getting you might be able to have Malcolm stick around just for value, which is wild to think about.
We're going to Ghoul Callers. Visitor Seer. Memory Lapse. Oh no, he milled an obscure storefront. Oh no. That feels bad.
Yeah.
That feels bad.
Still a slow land, so that's kind of tough too, but...
Yeah, but land's a land at this point.
Yeah. It's free real estate.
Yeah, flatten out that foil there, Clay.
Gross. This is why we don't play foils. No Pringles allowed. All right, so Beachpod going to find his land with an Eagles of the North. So everyone's kind of not naturally drawing their lands, which...
They really aren't, which is crazy.
This is
Chris
great.
is the only one that's been hitting them.
Yeah, this is great for Chris.
Yeah, this is super.
He has the most cards in hand or tied. He has the most mana of anyone. Hasn't had to fight for it. Has protection for, whatever creature he wants to throw down here. So
yeah, at least one protection.
All right. So Chris
And
gets
with
untapped.
nothing to protect really on the board from Beach Bot, I'm surprised he didn't go for the dual forest plains land, assuming he has it
Yeah, I mean,
with
you might as
that
well if you're
Eagles.
not
Yeah,
casting it anything. I mean, he could have like a generous gift or something, right? Like
sure. That's what I was thinking too.
maybe,
Maybe he's got something reactionary in his hand, but
but at this point, I mean, Malcolm can't really win this turn. Um, yeah, I don't think it's possible for Malcolm to win this turn unless he has some kind of ritual stuff going on.
hmm
So yeah, I am in agreement with you.
Chris with the 45-degree tap.
I'm excited to see. I haven't looked at Chris's list too much, but I like Tago. It's one of the commanders I wish got played more as a control fan. Um, pairing it with Malcolm seems kind of neat. You get a really good like controlling plan B, and like it's kind of a lightning rod. And if people are using all their stuff on Tago instead of your Malcolm,
Have at it.
you're a big fan. It's also why I like breaches, right? Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good plan B. It's a lightning rod, and it distracts people from your Malcolm in the meantime.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we got
Yeah,
a
you're right,
Pendragon.
People do not respect the rocks until they're bashing their skulls in with them.
Yeah. So we got a Pendragon from Chris. So yeah, he was working towards combo. But then you just get to pass. So 2, 3.
One
So
ominous.
Clay's beats will not be going Chris's direction anymore. Those unhinged cards. So Menace draw land, no. But
No land. Holy cow.
but a 1-drop.
But a 1-drop Surveil.
Oof.
Like that, the Gorehound, that is surprisingly powerful for a 1-drop. I know it's very specific. It cares about very specific things, but when it does what it wants, if you let it do what it wants to do, it can get out of control.
Yeah, Surveil is insane. I know Derek has Dragon's Rage Channeler 1-drop with Surveil, like a repeatable Surveil effect on a 1-drop is just crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially in like a deck like this that wants just a bunch of like creatures, like little dudes to sack. It's gonna get lots of value. It is gonna be a problem with Conrad,
Yeah.
because Conrad also plays that card. I'm pretty sure. So
I feel like Clay did not windmill slam a swamps, so
yeah. I'm
Clay
curious.
and Ominous are struggling at the moment.
I'm gonna look at all the lands. I'm gonna start critiquing people.
Well, that's what we do up here in the booth.
Yeah.
That's why you hired us.
All right. So Clay. All right.
Mystic Enforcer on 27 lands.
Yeah. So Clay's on 35, which is actually more. That's
more than I expected.
A very reasonable number in my opinion. Yeah.
Cartel's on 33. That's not terrible for a low curve deck.
Yeah, 33 is fine. Yeah, the 27 you said from Mystic Enforcer.
Yeah.
That's crazy low to me. And then where's this Malcolm Tago list? Although Chris isn't struggling on mana, but yeah, 34, which again, kind of reasonable. I think if you're like below 33, and I don't like going before 30, like I start at like 35 personally.
Yeah, same.
You have to be really aggressively slanted, and you have to have other mana sources like ramp spells or rocks to be down that low, in my opinion. Just mana's how you win the game.
That's where your mulligans come into play too, is understanding how the deck mulligans, what you need mulligan to.
Yeah.
I feel like every land you cut is one more aggressive mulligan you probably need to take.
Yeah. I think you guys brought it up last because Gretchen, there are 2 games with Gretchen. You guys like that. One of the perks of playing Gretchen is you just always have more mana than your opponents, and
Yes.
That's how all decks should like be thinking. Like, I want to have more
Oh
mana.
no, that's 2 lands in a row
Oh,
milled for Ominous off the bell. Oh, holy
yeah.
cow!
A Chain Devil from Clay. Clay's just like, yeah, get this off my deck.
Yeah, bring it on, Andy.
Um, yeah. So we'll see.
And I speak from experience. This is, if Ominous ends up losing this game, this is one of the worst ways to lose.
Yeah.
Just you're
Mana.
not playing. You know what I mean? You're not playing the game. You're not doing anything. You're just there.
Yeah. Highlighting the importance of mulliganing.
Yeah.
The awkward part if you're beach bot here, I mean, you gotta assume Clay has something, right? Like, I hope.
You would think so.
He's a control-y deck with mana up, and he hasn't done anything. But beach bot has, like, he kind of has to do something here, and he has to tap out to cast his commander. If not, he's just, everyone's doing nothing, and that just feeds, like, Chris can win the doing nothing fight by just playing Tago. So,
Yeah.
I expect beach bot to cast Mystic Enforcer here, but I don't think it will go well.
I don't know why he wouldn't, honestly.
Yeah, unless I
Might
mean,
as well go for it. At least that would progress the entire table to do something.
yeah, I mean the issue is Chris is arguably threatening combo, right? Like,
Yes, soon, like within a couple turns.
next turn maybe,
Right.
with the right cards. So,
Yes, if the 2 black players are struggling,
yeah.
not good.
Although if Clay's holding on to an edict that he gets to throw down next turn and he eat a Pendragon and a Mystic Enforcer if Beachbot plays it, that would be sick. But
Yeah.
looks like Beachbot's holding up mana for something. So
I don't know. He's got such a. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. It could be. It's very likely Clay has an edict effect of some sort. But a 6/6 flying right now looks pretty good.
yeah.
Chris just showing off that he has lands to tap.
Yeah. Bag much.
Look at me. I can make mana.
Yeah, I think
Interesting though, not a ton of red sources, just the that Signet.
yeah. Chris keeps wanting dedicating combo pieces, which is good. This one also dies to the Thought Picker plus Festering Newt.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that one protection spell. Chris is like, I feel like Chris is going a little more aggressive for the combo than I would have. He could have had like 3 rocks by now, and played it slow and just like
Sure.
never.
Like literal rocks, not mana
Yeah,
rocks.
yeah, like gotten Tago rocks. I think that's
Yeah.
the game plan I would have taken once I saw people fumbling.
Oh, sure. I think you got to establish Tago. Even if it does get killed after a turn or two, like you were saying earlier, you still got value out of it.
Yeah, because if it dies to an edict, cool. You wasted your edict on my like value control engine. Like,
There we go, Ominous. There we
we're
go.
in it now.
We are in it. Unstoppable.
Just so many choices at 2 mana now. Doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, Orzhov, its sweet spot is 2 mana. I
Yeah.
find myself with more 2 mana cards in Orzhov decks than anything else.
Yeah. The thing is, we just talked about it with like Beachbud, right? Like, they spent so long stumbling that now they're in like the awkward spot of to advance their board. They have to tap out, and Chris is sitting there with combo, like, just has to cast Malcolm next turn.
Yep.
And wins. Like,
Kinda, yeah.
this is gonna
Clay's got
protect
something.
the me
He's gonna
boy.
kill something. Yep. He tried to go for it, but the dive down. What was Beachbot doing?
So Clay activated Thought Picker
Oh,
Witch and
Thought Picker Witch. Okay.
got rid of.
That
I've already
is
forgotten the second
correct.
card, but I don't know. If I were Clay, I would have been targeting. Does it only target opponents? It does only target opponents. I guess Beachbod's fine. Maybe Clay's just really afraid of Mystic Enforcer because it has that protection from black text. But
That's fair. That's fair. Especially when you're struggling on mana. Another Festering.
Yeah, just another one of these guys. Was this one Shambling Goblin? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, this is where I think Chris is going to run into trouble. He wasted his whole hand just trying to protect, this kind of. I mean, it's a fragile combo, and Clay had onboard tricks from the second, like from turn 1, to deal with it. Yeah. So kind of tough. We'll see. Who knows what happens, but. All right. Yeah, and here we have Beach Broadcasting, Wasteful Harvest, end of turn. Mill 5, put a permanent.
Yep.
So your options are Suture Priest, Rancor, or 2 lands.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you take the Cycle Land. Suture Priest doesn't do the most against this table, honestly.
Rancor's not terrible. I mean,
Rancor's fine, but you have to start committing to playing.
Yeah, you gotta actually play your commander.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, and that looks like that's
pretty heavy on the self mill for just to get threshold. That's interesting.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, and we talked about Google Colors a minute ago. He runs a lot of that stuff. I don't think you need to run as much. Like a few of those mill cards will get you there. It doesn't take a lot.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like it's Delirium or something very specific like that. It's just it just wants cards in your graveyard.
And there's not a lot of graveyard hate, and the graveyard hate that's there is pretty targeted, and it's Honored Heirloom. It's Relic. Relic's a brutal a butt kicking, right?
He did mill the Blade Velas Vel. It's handy.
Yeah, that would have been gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you can get a bunch of it just along the way, and you're seeing it. You're drawing a bunch of self mill, but doing nothing, right? You're just kind of churning wheels, and you're gonna have a big guy, but by the time everyone else has a board and you have one creature, and you just spun a bunch of wheels.
Yeah, I feel like some of the mill could have been dedicated to more creatures, basically, or board presence.
And there are plenty of creatures that do mill stuff too, right? Like Satyr, Wayfinder. The 2-mana one from Brothers War that I'm blanking on. Blanchcraft something.
Clay went ahead and got rid of the Amoeboid.
Yep.
Yeah, the Blanche Prowler thing.
Yeah, Blanchwood Prowler, I think is what it's called.
Blanchwood Prowler, yep. Moment's Peace good in the graveyard.
From Thought Picker.
Maybe Clay gets rid of the Moment's Peace.
That's what I would do if I'm Clay, but you kind of want... Oh, no. I would think you kind of want Humble so someone can help you in stopping Chris, but
sure,
maybe he thinks he has it under control.
Somebody's coming out. There we go. There's the Tago.
Chris has finally decided to do the rock plan.
The rock plan. Yep, I like it.
And got a land into play.
Yep. Give yourself a rock.
Equipping it to the Pendragon.
Mm-hmm. With 3 mana to do what he wants.
Only 2 cards in hand, I think, though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Clay kind of got to masterfully kind of have his way with Chris, and Chris just kind of played into it. Just hey, I'm gonna keep playing these onboard combo pieces, and Clay's just cool. I'm just gonna keep eating them.
I'm just gonna keep getting rid of them.
This is what my creatures are there for. So.
Right.
So I think we're going to be in for a long haul now. There might be a chance, but So we got a giant graveyard from Clay.
Mm-hmm.
A menace. I mean, for only having 2 mana, Omenace has cast a billion things this game. So,
right.
Hunted Witness, triggering the Gorehound. Unfortunately, I don't think whatever that hound, unless you're putting in the yard, it's not going to be there. I think this Gold Card Bell is probably going to keep getting activated every turn.
Yeah, I do too.
So,
not great.
Not the best.
The situation to be in, like, yeah, Bell is super disruptive sometimes.
Yeah. Which is neat, right? Like, that's part of what Gold Card Bell is neat, but
I don't think it's necessary in the Mystic Enforcer deck, but
yeah. Things are turning sideways. I'm really curious who Beachbot's going to decide to focus here, because you know, Malcolm's gotten run down on cards, and Clay's kind of stopped everything Malcolm has tried to do all game. The rocks aren't very effective against Mystic Enforcer. You know Clay has a bunch of edicts, so you know that is going to,
yeah, those are going to come in.
Do a number on you, and you're unblockable against Clay.
Right.
Almenis, has some derpy things. You're not, and like you can't really. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what you're worried about. I'm just really interested to see what Adam Beachbot decides to do. 2 mana from Clay. And Dusk Legion Zealot. Yeah, I believe Clay does run Blood Pit. Sniff and Scoob. Well, when these black players get 3 mana, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
that's probably true. There's probably flesh bags just like lined
Demon's
up.
Disciples, flesh bags, yeah.
No land again for Clay. Oof.
Man, he is. Look at him scratching the head. He is questioning his reality right now.
Life decisions.
Life decisions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our 51 minutes left in round 2.
But, the way he's built that deck, even with only having 2 mana, he's really affected a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's single-handedly stopped Priss from potentially winning the game like 3 different times, right? So,
yep.
Like if any one of those Amoeboid image crafter guys got to stick around, it would have been game over.
Yeah.
So we know Beachbot has a Rancor in hand. That's probably going.
It would have to.
And
now's the time. Yeah.
Have to imagine we're at threshold already. So
yeah, I would hope so.
So
There's been a lot of ghoul color activations.
Yeah. So this is a 2-shot.
Yeah, 8/8.
Whoever.
Or 8/6. Coming somewhere. Coming at the combo player.
That makes the most sense to me. So. Yeah.
If Clay had been hitting land drops, he's pretty threatening on his own. But I think you gotta focus on the combo player.
I think Clay is still very threatening for Beachbot because once the 2 black decks are the ones you're actually more afraid of those than which is amusing for the protection from black deck, right? Like, I think you should be deathly afraid of those because once they get to Edict mana, you're like that. He couldn't cast Mystic Enforcer right now again once it dies. So like,
nope. He's got to be concerned about that, right?
That's the issue with running his low land count, and the combo player always is going to be the one who gets focused. That's the nature of being a combo player. But we're in that spot where, yeah, like maybe you let the combo player kind of help you out for a little bit and see if you can close out the game quick. I think he runs Flaming Fist in the deck, so he can turn Mystic Enforcer into a one shot, which is pretty neat.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. Like, this is the plight of the aggro player. Who do you kill when you can kill someone, quickly? And why does it always feel like you made the wrong decision? I hate playing aggro decks because of that. I'm the worst at it. I feel like I always make the wrong decision, and I do not envy anyone else having to make that same decision. So, but yeah, Chris establishing a board, another pinger, a Malcolm, rocks ready to be thrown at whatever needs rocked, and a menace with a third land drop. So we're in it.
We're doing the thing. Doing the thing.
All right, so here comes Cartel Aristocrat.
Yep.
Trigger the Hound, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I should be able to surveil.
Looks like just not doing it.
I think we're just not choosing to surveil.
Or missed it maybe, but...
Well, that's more what I meant.
yeah. Turn sideways.
It's
probably
not a May ability. It's not a May
pod.
Ability.
Yeah.
Must surveil.
Good question, Bobby. I don't remember my question, Derek, but thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Yeah. It does. Every time.
Every single time.
Yep.
So the best way to remedy that is just to never ask it and never attack players.
Right.
Big brain moves.
Just big brain moves. Just combo out.
Yeah. Sniff. Just.
No.
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 Well, sometimes I don't even attack. Like, I don't combo either. I just, like, ping everyone to death with flame breathers and company. It's like...
Oh, we know.
Sniff is a combo player, just acting like he's innocent and hasn't committed war crimes with Noggle Ransacker. I've seen Sniff win a game with Gretchen, so just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I was there in person. I saw it.
Yeah. Grinds of passion.
Conrad and Larry? No, just Conrad. There is photographic evidence. You are correct, Liam. We got it on record. Yeah. It's in your case file there, Sniff.
I have multiple witnesses.
It's on your permanent record. I think, are we still trying to figure out blocks?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought this was all just going at beach bod, and apparently I was wrong. So
yeah, I just...
Like, if this is going at one more, if Chris, like, I don't think any of those attacks were particularly good, unless there's some trick happening, and that, yeah, it looks like they're all going at Chris. So,
interesting.
Not real sure.
And you missed his surveil trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, not too sure why the attacks were there. I don't think any got through.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, some did go at beach bod though. So.
Oh, okay.
All right, Clay. Still no land, it appears.
Oh, Clay, my man.
I can struggling. Clay's hand has to just be loaded though.
Just 3 drops. Just the whole grip of 3 drops and removal spells. He does. I think 40 lands is appropriate for Clay.
Clay actually needs to run 60 lands in his deck.
Just swing back the other direction. Just
nothing
but corrupts and 45 lands.
Mizu Enforcer's comboing his left hand with his right.
Yeah. I think the Enforcer is a pretty interesting Voltron commander. Um,
I like it. It reminds. So I know I've played Nemesis Immortals against you. It feels similar, right?
it
Like
does. It
it's a
does feel very similar.
giant, fairly cheap like threat that kind of gets out of hand. But I think here, green white has plenty of like protection and some solid interaction. But I mean, we talk about all these edicts and none have been cast so far. So,
Right. We have not seen one yet.
but eventually edicts are going to happen, and it's going to be a sad day for the Mystic Enforcer, who still hasn't hit land 6 to recast it when it needs to happen. So,
Yeah, there's a lot. Looking at.
oh, Clay getting milled to land,
Oh
brutal.
no. Well, Omen has got milled a mana dork, I believe. A mere dork.
Yeah. So
Yeah, looking at
interestingly,
Beachbot's list, it is fairly heavy on the mill. A little bit of control auras and stuff like that.
yeah. So Beachbod needs some way to buff to kill Chris this turn through Malcolm, because this Malcolm's gonna block. Has to block.
Right.
Unless Chris's one card is a bounce spell that costs 1 mana.
Oh, reprobation on the stack.
That would do it.
Oh no, got him.
Yeah.
He's gonna throw the rock.
I don't know if I like this from. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? Like, Chris was scary, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this plays out now. So Chris took everyone's everything that whole game. Deservedly so. That's how the combo deck works.
Right.
I think he could have prevented that by taking kind of a slower game plan.
Yeah, he was trying to get there. I think he was trying to maybe mentally, get there before he thought Conrad could get online, or maybe before Enforcer could start swinging in. Something like that.
I just think when you come with Malcolm Tago instead of Malcolm Kedis, you're making a conscious decision to play this slower game. And
Yes.
so I think
you have to.
You have to do that.
Naturally.
And it would have worked way better that game too, right? Like, you just get to play rocks, you get to make everyone stumble, and you get to a point where you really only have to worry about this Mystic Enforcer, and instead of tutoring up, a protection spell to try to fight through on-board tricks that are going to stop you, you can tutor up something that sets someone else back insanely far while you've already really crippled the Sir Conrad and the Cartel Aristocrat player. But
because Beachbot still does not have the mana to recast a commander.
Yeah, once Mystic Enforcer eats it, Beachbot is out of the game
over.
For a hot minute.
Exactly.
So
there you go. Let me see a little aristocrat action.
All right, we got, and Ryan won his pod, so he's 2-0.
Oh, nice. Nice showing for TPI.
First report of round 2.
A moment's peace here from Beachbot to stop the 4 commander damage. That's probably fine.
I guess.
It's not ideal. I mean, you can still flash it back, but
I mean, sure. I don't know. That's gonna be the way Cartel Aristocrat wins, right? And I don't care about 4 at the moment. So
exactly, 4 is not a super concern. I don't know.
Yeah, I would be holding on to that until it's stopping me from dying twice.
Correct.
It's not just ebbing. But Beachbot is a big fan of life gain. He really cares about his life total being high, so that might play into it. I know he had a ton of life gain in his deck the other day. I don't know how much it's still there, but
the list is interesting. I'm looking at it. There's no he's got Helios Pilgrim to tutor up, auras. I'm not seeing any recursion from the graveyard for auras necessarily in the form of creatures.
Yeah, he has Tragic Poet, but that's the only one. That's slow.
That is kind of slow.
I mean, there's a few of the spells that return permanents, but I mean, he's spent so much life game. Like you can like Awe Strike, Dazzling Reflection, Feed the Clan.
Right,
Like,
exactly. Like
he's so worried
some of
about his life
those,
total.
some number of those can be a Flaming Fist for double strike, like 1 turn kills.
Yeah, I thought he added Flaming Fist, but it looks like he didn't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, like I think he is overly concerned on his life total.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I don't think he's going to be the target of aggression early. Like you see it in this combo. When they're combo decks, those are going to be the people who are afraid. Like,
Correct.
and targeted. So maybe he was expecting just way more pingers. Who knows?
I suppose so, which isn't a bad call necessarily. I mean, there are definitely pingers in the top tiers of this form.
Yeah, no, pingers are everywhere. But I still, yeah, I think having more dudes that do what you want to do and replacing some of these like really one-sided, like some of the mill, some of the,
Yeah, there's a lot of mill, surveil stuff here.
Clay finally has their land drop. So,
oh, Clay getting in the game.
Guilty Conscience. I don't know. Okay, so it was targeting a Clay Revenant, which got sacked. Interesting choice for the Guilty Conscience.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I'm that, does Conrad do damage or is it? Yeah, you want that on to Sir Conrad. Something fierce.
Sure. So. Yeah. Problem is though, with that 4-butt, that Guilty Conscience is not going to kill Conrad. Well, I guess it could in 1 turn. He would just have to activate it slowly. 1 activation per turn or whatever.
Yeah. You slow the Conrad player down a lot. You can't do like the crazy like I'm gonna activate Torch in Existence 8 times this turn, right?
Like, yeah.
I mean, you can, but Conrad will die as a result. Right. So, and he's moments piecing again. He just is really hell bent on killing Omenis. This could.
I'm not sure why.
I don't know. This could really, if Clay's hand has anything, like edict wise, like Clay is going to be in such a good spot. Like
yeah, if we see a Demon's Disciple or what have you, like it's just almost GG's at that point.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's still Beachbod's still 1 mana off from recasting his commander. But still, once again, that would be the only creature on his board. Like it's just Edict fodder again. I feel like, I love a good Voltron list, but I feel like you have to have some sort of creatures to back it up. Just that fodder for, incidental damage, edicts, combat damage, or combat steps, etc. Yeah, dude, that's exactly right. When in doubt, add more Judes. That's correct. I don't care if they're tokens, like anything to absorb edicts, anything to absorb combat steps. Sure, your commander's a 20/20 with trample, but it's gonna die. Like, it can still be sacrificed to a diabolic edict or what have you. Demon's Disciple. Armadillo Cloak, that was a good one to be in the graveyard. Oh, there's the so far Clay has missed his Flesh Bag and his Demon's Disciple to the Ghoul Caller's Bell.
Yeah, that's brutal. And he has some recursion, but not a lot. I know he has Tortured Existence.
Sure.
So that's kind of a bummer. So maybe Clay doesn't have a lot going on in hand, I
am curious as to what's in there, though.
Oh, who did? Beachbot is just killing Omenis. All right.
Interesting.
Still no 6 land. No.
Would that have been your choice?
I wouldn't, personally. But I mean, he's very aggressively moments piece. So I don't really know. Oh, here's Vraska's Fall. Yeah, this is what we talked about. Here's the edict.
Yeah.
So.
Does he have instant speed creature creation?
I know. I think he runs
or a flash enchantment.
He may have
Restless Fall is an enchantment too, right?
Okay. So you're flickering it. That won't do what you want it to do, unfortunately.
I don't think that's gonna do what you want it to do.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I'm with you, Sniff. Like, get another player out. I would have naturally assumed Clay is the more threat to the Mystic Enforcer deck, so I would have taken him out first. But
yeah, I mean, like
because of that exact spell. I mean,
like
because of what we just talked about.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Clay's deck is chock full of edicts, right? Like, that's what Mono Black does. Cartel probably has some, but likely fewer.
Sure.
So yeah, he just.
And Clay is the point where he's starting to establish, whereas Ominous, was kind of hiccuping, kind of struggling. So I think you could have ignored him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still very. I feel weird about the the double moments piece at Ominous that felt really aggressive for. You weren't in danger at all. It stopped a total
fair,
of like
Scooby. I mean,
10
all
damage.
of Clay's spells cannot target the Enforcer, but I mean, it just takes one edict.
Sure, but I guess the thing is, lots of Clay's spells are edicts, right? Like.
Right. And if I was, I guess if I was Beachbot, I would have taken out Menace, if I had had land drops every turn.
Yeah.
But not being able to cast my commander, I would have been like, God, I need to take Clay out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be too expensive. Oh, for sure. Clay was going to edict regardless, but.
Sure, but I guess, you see, the issue is they're both stumbling on mana, right? And if I'm picking one of a Menace or Clay to be scarier for the livelihood of my Mystic Enforcer, I'm picking Clay. That deck's going to have more edicts. Yes, Ominous has creatures that, can maybe block or, white enchantments that can deal with Mystic Enforcer, but,
sure.
like Clay's deck, the whole Conrad deck is based on the premise of edicting everything. So.
Yeah, for sure, Max. And Clay does seemingly have a better long game than Ominous would. Because, the Aristocrat with the axe on it, can attack for 3 or 4 every turn, but Conrad can do 3 to 4 damage, every activation.
Sniff that. Okay, so that's fair, but that you kind of you're not in a spot where you can so he's putting himself in a spot where he has to ride or die by another player's decisions, and that's tough, right? Then
that is tough. Yeah,
you're putting yourself in a 1v1 where you're already on the back foot. That's not the greatest spot to be. I think part of this just highlights one of the flaws with the Mystic Enforcer build against black decks is that it is so reliant on having one creature in play that it just folds to edicts that are very common and increasingly common. So.
Oh, I see a baby that wants to learn how to play Magic. Oh, there he is.
But
no, I'm not necessarily down on Beachbot for his decisions or anything.
Right.
They're just interesting. They're interesting.
Right.
Just trying to talk through it all.
Yeah, Colony Garden from Beachbot's going to give him some edict fodder for now, which is nice. But
yep, certainly.
And it's going to still not to 6 land though. So.
Oh yeah. Rough. And you think I don't know too. I know we're I feel like we're coming across as we're picking apart Beachbot's deck, but there's just so many ways you can take the Mystic Enforcer. Theoretically, and I didn't see a lot of ramp in his deck either, which
it's
a 4-mana commander. It's going to be the target, so it's going to cost you 6 and then 8 and then 10. You need lands in play.
Yeah, it's not trying to pick on it or anything. It's just hey, when you put your deck together to play at a tournament, you expect these kind of things, and I feel maybe this is not properly valuing some of those things or taking them into account. I mean, there's some, you see Colony Garden, right? That's there to dodge edicts. But that's one card in the deck. You have Crop Rot. That's 2. You don't have any other.
You got the Eagles and the Ant to go get you some lands, but.
Yeah, it's just part of the weakness of the deck, right? And so you can build a deck and have weaknesses, and as long as you're aware of those, it's fine.
And it may not even be a Mystic Enforcer problem. It's just a Voltron deck in PDH.
That's true. Yeah, that's everything with Voltron, right? If you don't have other creatures, you're gonna fold the edicts. If you're all in on your one guy, I played Sprite Dragon that lost to edicts, and it felt really bad
because it does feel bad.
All of those resources and just walk away with nothing. So
because I love a good Voltron list, but Apparently I only love Voltron in 60 card formats where I can have multiple when you get Edict. You know, like
Yeah.
losing your Sphinx of the Guild Pact or whatever. Like that just feels bad.
Yeah.
But I do love a good Voltron list
Yeah.
because they're fun. They're just fun. I feel like they're fun. So are we 30 minutes into the round, or we have 30 minutes left?
30 minutes left, so we've
30
had
minutes left. Okay,
hour
so about
past.
an hour. Okay.
Yeah, only one table's done so far. One thing I've noticed, lots of kind of grindy decks, mid-rangey,
I noticed that.
slow decks.
Looking at the deck list before we started today, yeah, I noticed that.
So I think we may have a good number of draws. We haven't had any yet, but we might approach that. Especially as later in the day, people are tired. Decisions are harder.
What did he just play?
Grapple with the past.
Grapple with the past.
So I think it mills and then returns a
mills and returns.
creature or land.
For some reason in my head, I thought the card was just grapple past or grapple the past. I'm like, there's 4 words there though.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Just getting command tower.
Like I feel that it's weird. Like I feel like Beachbod's build of this Enforcer deck is like he's trying to play Selesnya Tortured Existence.
Yeah. And like there's green has a lot of cool stuff for that, but
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, like it doesn't have a lot of creatures to return, so it's returning lands, which is nice because that's the way you get your lands. But
yeah,
Fume Spitter.
Yeah, Stein Zada will do that to people for sure. Mono black or green ever gets a bounce protection from a common. I'm gonna be unstoppable. That's right, do. That's right. Hell, if green would get any sort of flicker spell, I would become unstoppable.
If green got
Good
flicker,
Lord.
Ooh. Generous gifting his own.
There we go. That's big brain. Gets up creature. Now he's ready to potentially ready to get that commander back out there.
Yeah, well, he's really terrified of edicts now.
Oh, you should be.
Well, the thing is, like, Clay just gets to fire off his removal at anything that isn't Mystic Enforcer. So this is awesome for
Search.
Clay.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent draw spell, Rowan's Grim Search. Amazing.
So you get to eat a removal spell out of Adam's hand just to, like, have a blocker.
Right. If green had a sack outlet too, that would be outstanding.
You know what? I think blue needs sack outlets because blue doesn't have enough of other stuff. So let's give blue a break one time, and let's give blue some sack outlets.
Yeah, blue, never gets anything.
Yeah,
good.
Blue struggles. So
blue struggles. I've often wondered, looking at Beachbod's list. I know we're like in a little down moment here with the players drawing and searching and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it would have to be commander agnostic, as Ryan often says. But I wonder what like an Abzan Tortured Existence deck would look like, if that would be anything to explore. I know we only have one commander for that, but
yeah, I mean, you get all the Edict guys, you get
all the graveyard recursion,
you get some dredge guys,
some dredge, some pump spells if you need combat stuff. You get all the protection, whatever you need from white. Like,
yeah, I think I
don't know.
I think it could be something. Yeah, it sucks that your commander isn't doing much for the deck. So
yeah. That's
always like my issue with the commander agnostic builds. Like, usually the uncommon is one of the most, if not the most, powerful card. Oh, Felden's Cane.
Felden's Cane. That's a game ender right there.
This is not going to be good for our hero Beachbod.
Right.
I don't know how many creatures Clay has in his graveyard at the moment. I don't think Clay even has to.
Oh, I was wondering how he cast that. I completely missed the Dark Ritual.
Yeah, Dark Ritual.
I think this is game over.
Yeah, Clay can sack something.
We can just activate the Cane, right?
Yeah, that's what I don't know how many creatures he has in his graveyard, right? Like, that's the thing. So
that's the thing. Which thing?
Like, I don't know if it's lethal, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. He should have. I bet he's got 6. I think he's got 5 or 6 in there. So yeah, it's probably not lethal yet, but
hey, he's about to count.
He's doing it. So I guess he's about to find out.
Interestingly, he could have sacked Dusk Legion and gotten
Another one in there.
Well, one from the death and another one from.
Yeah, sure. That's true. Oh, crib swap on the stack.
I feel like that might have been late. I might I don't know.
That's what I'm hoping for. Do more wedges from Tarkier.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, I want more wedge commanders.
Look at that. Ominous gets a hand-delivered Blizzard. I need to lose cPDH games.
Yeah.
That's going to be the reward.
I didn't know if that's, I want to sign up for that service.
Yes.
When I lose, get an ice cream delivered.
Yep.
Solves all the problems.
The winner of Sanctuary 5 gets a DQ gift card.
No, that'd be the last place person, right?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, we just saw, I think it's actually Beachbot's deck is playing like 27 lands or something crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, yeah, like this is, I don't think it would have been lethal, but I think Clay should have waited. Clay was under no threat, and
he really wasn't. I mean, sure, Beachbot could have put out his commander next turn, but
at least tapping out, and then you definitely
no onboard haste or anything like that, and then hopefully the following turn Clay hits another land, boom, Conrad dead.
Yeah. So now Clay's gonna be, although this did just put a bunch of edicts back in his deck, which is good fair. And bad, right? I don't know what type of recursion Clay has available,
but with it. It's still Clay's game to lose at this point. I think he's got double the life. He's got, his mana online. So
yeah, and Mystic is Rancor's in hand, right? So it is still a 2-shot. So we're Beachbot can win in 3 turns, I suppose, but it's assuming nothing else from Clay.
Right. Exactly.
Although this shapeshifter blocks, and if it ever loses the threshold, so and I think Clay is like Bajuka Bog and stuff, so 2 cycles of wedges. I would love that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we maybe get one soon, but I bet we get some wedges in the Return to Tarkir stuff.
We would almost have to, right? Or at least color identity, wedge colors.
I don't see Siege Rhino downshift ever happening ever, but
feels like Clay needs a Oblivion Strike. A little devoid action.
I wonder why Clay. Oh, is he Tragic Slip? Oh, Torture. Oh, he definitely should have waited. Oh, Clay. Oh, no.
Maybe he top decked.
Yeah, maybe.
But still, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he Dusk Legioned.
He attacked Dusk Legion into the elephant. It died. Yeah.
Okay. Into the Oliphant.
Interesting.
There we go.
Mystic Enforcer is back with a vengeance.
Yeah, Clay still has a good 2 to 3 turns ahead of him with that Tordex on board. Now his graveyard's like nothing.
Yeah.
It was a good attempt, though. I can't say I wouldn't have done it, obviously.
I just think, I mean, I don't know, from both Chris and Clay here, and I mean, even Beachball, but I think people are just trying to go for it too early. Like, they're getting impatient. And
and it may be the time crunch. The clock may be just pressuring them more than it should.
Yeah, but I don't know. We still have, 20-something minutes left or so?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. That's one of the reasons I don't play a lot of the cPDH events. Yeah. And I know it's just like psyching myself out of it because I'm like, I can't, because I would want to play this deck, but that deck takes 90 minutes to win, and I don't want to hop from game to game to game with no break,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure is not the case at all, but
I think people put way too much weight on the time as a factor. I think they psych themselves out into making bad decisions or weird deck building decisions.
Absolutely.
But Cryptat's here. which isn't going to do a whole lot probably, but
I don't know. Clay can win in 2 turns with it, just about.
I guess, oh yeah,
No, I guess no, not really.
Beachbody is at a fairly low life total.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is you have no way to force damage through anymore with that elephant if it sticks around. So
I'm honestly surprised that Beachbody got the untap with his commander on board.
I mean, I don't know if
Clay
can do
went
much.
into that. Well, he went into that turn with 6 mana, and all those edicts got shuffled back in. Like, I just assumed he would have something, but
yeah.
But then again, he does have the plant token or what have you, so I don't know that an edict would have done much.
Yeah.
Has Clay taken any enforcer damage?
Nah, not
okay.
Yet, so
I didn't think so.
Just a 2-turn clock, but that's still something.
Clock's a clock.
I think Clay's dead.
Yeah, I don't think he has a super big chance. Especially now that his graveyard's gone. That's a little rough.
No, yeah. Once Clay lost Conrad, it was over. Like, if he didn't have an edict immediately to follow it up and a way to deal with the elephant, he had no shot. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I don't know that he's been behind forever. It was a weird situation where Beachbody was stuck on 5 lands or 4 lands forever, 4 or 5 lands forever. Clay was stuck on 2 and 3 forever. Like,
Clay was behind forever, like on lands.
Sure.
And I just assumed he had gas, and he kind of did, right? He like forced out. He got impatient because he was like, okay, I finally do something. I'm going to try to win the game now, and walked himself right into a crib swap that was game ending, and like blew like with Tortured Existence in hand, blew his yard. Like if he had just instead of Felden's caning right there to try to go for a win, who knows if it would have won in the first place, right? But he could have just targeting. Like done the Tortured Existence thing, edict, and like had edicts forever, like for the rest of the game. Just
there we go. Got rid of the plant token. Beachbody went to Lignify the Crypt Rats, and in response, or Lignify the Thought Picker Witch, and in response, Clay Crypt Rats.
Yeah.
For 3.
Crypt Rats for 3, which is if Clay has an edict again, he has a chance. But yeah, here's Tragic Poet.
Tragic Poet.
So there goes
Get back that Armadillo Cloak.
I mean, does it matter what he gets back? I mean, he just has to not have his dudes die.
Yeah. But he's got Edict Protection again. But yeah, Armadillo Cloak's in the graveyard. Lignifies in the graveyard. Yeah. Obviously.
Clay needs 2 pieces of removal, and 1 has to be an edict. So.
Right.
Seems unlikely that Clay.
Yeah, the look on his face is telling me Enforcer might get the dub here. And I guess it was more surprising too. Like I just assumed, kind of like Bobby did, that Clay was holding on to 5 and 6 cards for the longest time. So in my mind, I was just like, oh, if he hits that land drop, he's gonna be off to the races.
And he would have. I mean, Felden's Cane, Tortured Existence.
Right.
Like, he had the stuff. He wanted to win faster than
that his deck wanted to. Yeah.
His deck would allow.
Was that Drown in Sorrow?
Yeah, I mean.
Nice,
Drown will kill the poet.
Nice.
I mean, if he has an Innocent Blood after this, that's his out, right? Like.
Yeah, 100%. Innocent Blood. Yeah, I guess that's really about it.
Vines kicked on Tragic Poet should do it.
Oh, interesting. He's really trying to get that Armadillo Cloak back.
No, he just needs to live because like that's. Clay is dead to the next music deck, so he just needs to not lose to Innocent Blood. Yeah, because he attacked last turn for 8, and he attacks this turn for 8.
Oh, I missed the attack last turn. I was talking to chat.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So he just needs to not lose, and so keeping that guy alive at all costs. And it looks like Clay is dead, so.
Wow, look at Mystic Enforcer doing work.
Yeah. After all the guff we gave it.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's the Innocent Blood. Yep, so. Womp womp.
That's what we do, though. That's what we do as commentators.
Yeah. Clay did have a lot of stuff. He got caught by.
He got caught by Protection from Black. Yeah, that foil Innocent Blood is gorgeous.
Yeah, he's got caught by the wanting to close out the game too soon. So, the first this Derek and I were talking about this earlier today before the tournament started. I think this kind of game shows an example. Like, not people are really focused on winning the game, right? You should. That's part of that's winning the game is the goal. But so many people lose track of not winning the part of winning the game is not losing the game, and people.
And that sounds ridiculous, but those are two separate things.
Right, and I think people are so focused on their own game plan, they're either underestimating other people's removal or taking actions. I mean, we kind of saw it. Like Chris was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna keep forcing out my combo." Everyone's fumbling. I'm gonna go for my combo instead of establishing a thing to puts everyone else so far behind.
Right.
And he kind of wanted to get greedy with it. Maybe that's over, exaggerating,
it or whatever. Yeah.
But then Clay too, right there, where he went for the Felden's Cane instead of just going for I can just edict lock you out of this game with this tortured existence, and you will never have a chance, right? He just wanted to go for a win. So yeah, I just think it's an interesting, people are making those decisions, and I think so much of this notion of, hey, everyone needs to win, winning is the most important, that they're losing because they're also not, they're forgetting how to not lose.
Yeah, so, they're not taking into consideration what Bobby's doing across the table.
Right.
They're just like, I got to do, I have the ability, I got to do this on next turn. I can't wait 2 more turns.
Yeah.
And it puts them,
Yeah, they just walk themselves into kind of a trap, they just get blown out by one thing after
and it's easy to do too. I do that to myself all the time. I lose. I lose a lot of games with PDH, but a lot of the ones I lose are to myself, to my own decisions, to myself. Getting into stuff too earlier than I thought. It's very easy to do, especially at these higher level tournaments.
Yeah. it happens, right? I'm guilty of it too. Everyone's guilty of it. But that game was a perfect example, right?
It really was.
We saw it happen. Multiple people just trying to push it to end the game soon, and then walking themselves right into a spot where they get blown out by something, and it and then they immediately have everything turn on them. So.
Cool. What do we got going on here, Bobby?
So we'll jump to another game here. Let me choose a prediction outcome. But we got Joe on Malcolm Breaches, Franklin on Abdel Adrian Sorko Sailor, David on Malcolm Kedis, and then Aaron on Sir Conrad. So
half of the game we just watched. Almost half the game we just watched last time.
Yeah, life totals are very high. So this is another one where, I think we're in the danger zone, although 3 of these decks are combo decks, so
sure. So life totals may not matter much.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of our tier, specifically our tier combo list in the cPDH realm, are you a Malcolm Breaches or a Malcolm Kedis fan?
I lean towards Malcolm Breaches. I'm not a turbo fan. I'm a combo control player. I'm not trying to win the game fast. I think if I haven't made my stance on that clear based on how I've talked about that last game, I never will. But yeah, I want to stop other people from winning, and then because everyone's going to use their resources stopping other people, right? So
yes, 100%.
If I'm the second or third person to go for it, and I helped along the way, it's going to be that much cleaner of a path for me to win.
Sure.
So Breaches is my preferred Malcolm deck. Kedis is fine. They're playing similar cards, but the real difference comes in how you play the deck, if that makes sense, right? You can have decks that have the same cards, but you can play them very differently. And part of it is just aggressively going for something versus waiting, right?
Mm-hmm. Holding up mana instead of just trying to turbo out.
But yeah, here, both, Joe and David here, they're both playing pingers. They both want Malcolm combo to happen, and they're both just chock full of removal and counter spells. I like Breaches a lot more. Oh, what just happened?
I I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, it looks like Franklin might be winning the game here.
Did he
I'm not.
Stonehorn everybody out of the game, or
I'm not.
not 100% sure? That's what we get for talking.
Yeah, that's what we get. I mean, he has a bunch. He had a bunch of stuff under an Abdel.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, it looks like he's just going until he hits the thing that kills people, or maybe.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure because Aaron's not scooping.
Well, and Aaron didn't just win out of nowhere. That's for sure. So that deck can't do that.
Oh, there he goes.
Like that. So. Yeah, I mean, I think Franklin won.
I don't honestly know.
Unclear.
Unclear. And the winner is undecided.
Yeah. That's my guess as to what happened. But yeah, I just saw the Stonehorn, so I'm not really sure how that.
Yeah, we just got to talking about other stuff, and I noticed the Stonehorn, and all of a sudden everyone scooped.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Oh, it says actually Aaron just won somehow. I am very confused there.
Curious to know what happened, for sure.
Maybe a Crypt Rats happened for a lot of mana, or a lot of. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that's a.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, it is certain Conrads. I guess he could have just had a card or two and said, "Hey, I can do 14 damage to the table."
Yeah, I didn't see a tortured existence or anything though.
Crypt Rats into Conrad triggers. Okay, makes sense. That's fair.
Oh, Crypt Rats. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, so Conrad won there. Let me report some things. Let me delete that. So table 5. All right, so this is good. So yeah, so we got. I think we have a few tables still going. Let me double check here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Aaron with the dub there. We got Hive won with Wilson Far Traveler on table 4.
Nice.
And it looks like Gator won with Azra Oddsmaker.
Mm-hmm.
Pod 5. All right, and then so we have table 7. It looks like, and table 6. So let's pop to one of those.
Sure. Let's do it.
Let's go. Table 7 has our favorite Alcadron.
The Alcadron and the Liam and the
Lobert. A Lobert and an Eevee.
It's like the champion of champions room.
Flip. Wow, there are lots of permanents on this board.
There was a Magus. Yep. Alcadron's out again. Oh. Come on. I'm never going to get to see this deck. You got Eevee Shiny. You got Lobert. Yep. He's got the Sphinx on board. He's got the Cranioplating on board. Things are happening. Is Magus using the art cards for lands? Look at him. Bling, bling, baby. Don't see. Oh, he does have the Ashnod's Altar on board, so I think this is Lobert trying to combo out.
And what do you know? We get there and. So yeah, is it? Okay, Magus is scooping. Let's see what EB is doing. Yeah, this is I can't tell if there's comp or not. There's so many permanents.
I didn't see what life total Magus was at, but yeah, he's scooped.
Yeah.
EB with the exclude.
Is unwind on something.
Unwind. There we go. Unwind. not sure what that is either.
All right, so we got that one. Yeah, I don't know. EB's gonna have a tough time. Just that cranial plating makes anything a threat at 10 life. I don't think he has any lands at
he's
tap
got
for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 12 artifacts on board. So
yeah.
I mean, unless EB's holding on bounce spells, I don't know. Does Gretchen run bogs?
It runs Moment's Peace usually. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I know EB's list is a little
A
different.
little different. Mm-hmm.
So who knows for sure. But usually there's Weather the Storm or Moment's Peace that can keep you in it. But I mean, I don't know if Weather the Storm is going to do much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And like he just dealt with Sphinx Summoner, but that cranial plate on anything is lethal.
Put it on a golem. Put it on the
a golem, a sky scanner, an Ethereum, anything.
Sky scanner. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because he can make it a golem at the end of Shiny's turn and have it ready to attack next turn. What is underneath the Aether Spell Bomb? Can you tell what that is? Is that a crafted?
I think that's the crafted part of Tithing Blade.
Okay.
I'm admittedly not 100% sure myself.
No, I think that's what it is. It's definitely a crafted something.
Yeah, let me pull this up.
It must be. Like. I think that's the only thing we really have in black.
Tithing Blade. Yeah, it's the backside. It's Consuming Sepulcher.
Okay.
At the end of your upkeep, each point loses 1 life. You gain 1. Yeah. I mean, Moment's Peace keeps him alive for 2 turns, right? So that's pretty gross. Yeah. Assuming Lobert doesn't have Counterspell.
Counterspell. If he's going straight to combat, he's got a Counterspell in hand. Drift. Uh-oh. What's he getting? I don't know what that is.
I didn't see.
Yep. There we go. Cranioplating on the Sky Scanner. What a hilarious visual. Yep, so he's swinging both of them at EB. I did miss what he drifted for, though.
Yeah, same. I couldn't quite see it.
He revealed it. It was on the table. It just there was a little bit of a glare. I couldn't tell what it was.
I was putting in results, so that'll teach me to be distracted.
That'll teach you to run a tournament and commentate.
Yeah, so it looks
it's that card on top, whatever it is.
That looks like either way, is lethal. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. Good job, Lovert.
Yeah.
The Metallic Rebuke. Thanks, Sniff. That makes sense. Good job, Lovert.
Nice. Well, we just keep jumping to games and they just keep ending. So
no. That's ideal commentary environment.
Yeah, there is one. Well, no, I think there's one more table 6. Let's
switch to see what
that one real quick.
Brennan and South Lakes Vibes is up to.
So it says Killian, Aranus Urchin, and it looks like South Lake is.
I just want Killian to be so good.
Killian's not bad. Oh, Killian's dead.
Let me rephrase that. I want Orzhov to be good.
Never mind. It looks like this game is over too.
Oh, all right. Aranus with the win, I suppose.
I can't tell if it's Raph or Aranus. Unclear. Yeah. But
oh, I forgot there was a Raph in today's decks. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, so I guess that is actually it for the round.
Yeah.
We kept popping over and they were done at the same time. So
yep.
But yeah,
this one by like 4 seconds. It looks like.
Yeah. So any final thoughts before we cut to a quick little break before round 3?
No, the game that we actually started with was pretty interesting. A lot of I just decisions that were made at the table. Like the game was working at two different speeds. It felt like at the same time. Um,
Yeah, lots
but no,
of
it seemed like this round as a whole was really good games, fast games, interactive games, powerful games. Like
yeah, people took a lot of aggressive, made a
thanks
lot
for
of
hanging out,
aggressive
Sniff.
decisions, and very few of them paid off. So,
Right. Yeah.
it's like
There
the
was
takeaway.
looks like there were some mulligan decisions that could have been different.
Yeah,
Some combat decisions, like a little bit of everything, a little bit of everything sprinkled in.
yeah, but yeah. So okay, we'll call it there. We'll be right back. We're gonna finish up pairings and seeing what all unfolded, and then we'll be back for round 3.
Yeah. Have a great night, Sniff.